sound.
Matt Heath, Jeremy Wells, Laura McGoldrick, the Hauraki Breakfast.
Before I was saying that Steve Hansen isn't sounding as much like Pa Rugg from the Hillbilly Bears as he has been recently last night when he was on the television talking about rule changes. First, can we have just the theme of the Hillbilly Bears to get us in the mood? Now, most rugby commentators have noted how much Steve Hansen sounds like Pa Rugg. This is Pa Rugg.
Yeah, well, I'm going to I'll tell you, who stay here. Well, now I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take a rug.
And this is Steve Hansen.
The question is, how do they get on? Now, there's enough of them in red jackets, so you'd think they better stop them. Well, they do really good tackles at the end of it, but probably should do some before they get on. That would be handy.
Sounds exactly like a New Zealand large hillbilly bear. And there's been a lot of talk about how much time he's spending with his face in the bins and how more bear-like he's becoming. But he really turned that on the head last night with his comments. He was sounding upbeat and he didn't sound at all like Pa Bear, I thought, last night.
Incredibly articulate, actually. He was opening his mouth. He was enunciating words.
His head was up for a second and he wasn't so hunched over the table. At one point, he sort of looked up a little bit and you could sort of see a little bit of throat.
Yeah, well, I think the other thing is they've got rid of all the bins out of the press conference area. And so he has most of his problem when his head is in a bin. And that's where you get a muffled sound. And then if he's got a whole lot of food in his mouth from where he's foraged for food, then that's when you really get some problems.
Yeah, because normally you hear him straight after a game and he's just been in the bins because he comes out of the coaching box, he gets stuck into the bins on the way down to stand on to get interviewed, and when he comes up, he turns up sounding like Pa Rugg. We got some Pa Rugg there just so we can refresh what Pa Rugg sounds like.
Yeah, well, I'm going to sneak up and blast them.
And this is Steve Hansen last night.
Give them 2 touch judges for the year and say, right, that's your team. And we'll judge you as a team, not just as you in the middle. And I don't think touch judges, the referees make great touch judges. One other thing I'd be allowed to do, other than rip the book up, I'd probably do that.
That's the least Pa Rugg he's been in ages.
No, I think they've actually told him to enunciate a little bit more.
Sit up, to not hunch over so much and keep his face out of the rubbish bins.
Big difference between that and the other night is that it's post-game.
Yeah.
Post-game, he's been through the bins all game, whereas they keep the bins away from him. They just can't keep the bins away from him during the game because there's all those bins at the game.
And he knows that everyone's watching the game, everyone's focused on the game. So as soon as people are watching the game, he's like turns around and runs out
straight through the bins. Yeah.
And plus, he runs the coaching box, so he can say, "You're not putting those bear-proof lids on those bins." But there's a lot of people at training and at the press conferences, and they can rein in those bins. But it's disappointing for us after that he's sort of changing out of the bear rug. But better for the rugby watching public because you can actually understand what he's saying.
Matt Heath, Jeremy Wells.